Good morning, children. So let's start chapter number 12, Electricity and Circuits. Okay, children. So this is a very interesting chapter, and this chapter also has the activity that making of electricity, making of torch. Okay, electricity circuit. You have to make the circuit, you have to make the torch. Okay, these are the activity. So let's start. We use electricity for many purposes to make our task easier. For example, we use electricity to operate pumps that lift water from wells or from ground level to the rooftop tank. So everybody has pump at their home, right? So the pump is used to lift the water from ground or from the well to the top. What are the other purposes for which you use electricity? List some of them in your notebook. Does your list include the use of electricity for lighting? Electricity makes it possible to light our homes, roads, offices, markets and factories even after sunset. This helps us to continue working at night. A power station provides us with the electricity. However, the supply of electricity may fail or it may not it may not be available at some places. In such situation, a torch is sometimes used for providing the lights. A torch has a bulb that lights up when it is switched on. Where does the torch get the electricity from? Isn't it? So we all know that without electricity we can't do anything. Now we are so dependent on the electricity. But there is some time when there is no electricity at our place. Then what do? We do nothing, isn't it? But for the light at least we have, what do we have? We have a torch. Now tell me, how does the torch get electricity? Usually we get electricity from the power station, isn't it? We get electricity from a power station. But how does a torch get electricity? It gets electricity from the electric cell, isn't it? So let's study the electric cell. Electricity to the bulb in a torch is provided by the electric cell. Electric cells are also used in the alarm clocks, wristwatches, transistor radios, cameras and many other devices. Have you ever carefully looked at an electric cell? You might have noticed that it has a small metal cap on one side and a metal disc on the other side. Okay, just look, everybody must be having the cell at their home. So just check it out, children. One side will have an electric disc. Disc means it is flat. An electric cap means that is little rounded. Is rounded. Okay. So did you notice a positive, that is plus sign, and a negative, that is minus sign, marked on the electric cell? The metal cap is positive terminal of the electric cell. The metal disc is the negative terminal. The electric cells have two terminals, a positive terminal and a negative terminal. Please underline. The metal disc is negative terminal and the metal cap is the positive terminal. All electric cells have two terminals, a positive terminal and a negative terminal. Alright, moving ahead. An electric cell produces electricity from the chemicals. Now this is also very important. An electric cell produces electricity from the chemicals stored inside it. So in the electric cell there are chemicals stored inside. So through that only the electric cell produces the electricity. Now when the chemical in the electric cell are used up, the electric cell stops functioning. Right? They'll stop functioning. There will be, we say that this cell is a dead cell because the chemicals are used up. Okay. Now let's move ahead. Caution. You might have seen the danger sign here displayed on poles. Okay. Electric substations and many other places. That sign is there. So you have to recognize this sign. Where do you find this sign? So this sign is found at the electric poles, at the substations. So electricity can be dangerous if not handled properly. Okay? Carelessness in handling electricity and electric devices can cause severe injuries and sometimes even death. So hence you should never attempt to experiment with the electric wires and sockets. So don't try to put anything inside the sockets. Don't try to touch the wires. Okay? Also, remember that the electricity generated by portable generators is equally dangerous. Use only electric cells for all the activities related to electricity. Do not ever try to touch the live wires. When the wire doesn't have the plastic coating, do not touch it. Okay. So when the chemical in the electric cell gets used up, it stops producing electricity. So electricity, an electric cell then has to be replaced with a new cell. Alright, children, you will see there are two terminals present here. There is one terminal here on the side. Here also you will see there is one terminal on the side and there is another at the end here. Okay, so like this, the bulb has two terminals here. A torch bulb has two terminals on the side and one at the end. A torch bulb has an outer case of glass that we know. Yeah, this is glass. That is fixed on a metallic base, and this is a metallic base. What is inside the glass case of the bulb? You can see the filament is there, right? So this diagram, children, this diagram you have to draw. The diagram of the bulb. So this is your diagram to be made. I think there is one diagram at the 12.1, 12.2, all the figure. In this chapter you have a whole lot of diagrams to be drawn. You have to draw 5 diagrams each day. Okay? Let's move activity number 1. Okay. Take a torch and look inside its bulb. You can also take out the bulb with the help of your teacher. What do you notice? Do you find a thin wire fixed in the middle of the glass? Now switch the torch on and observe which part of the bulb is glowing. Now please underline, the thin wire that gives off light is called filament of the bulb. Okay. Now the filament is fixed to two thicker wires which also provide support to it. As shown in the figure, I showed you there are two wires. On one of these thick wires is connected to the metal case at the base of the bulb, and another one is with the metal. Another one is connected to the metal tip at the center of the base. The base of the bulb and the metal tip of the base are the two terminals of the bulb. These two terminals are fixed in such a way that they do not touch each other. The electric bulbs used at home also have similar design. Thus, both the electric cell and the bulb have two terminals each. Why do they have these two terminals? You can see, children, there are two terminals. I told you this is base of the bulb. Yeah, so it is at the one side of the one end of the bulb, another is at the base of the tip of the metal cap. Yeah, so they are the two terminals. They are away from each other. So why are they? Why do we have two terminals? Why anything has two terminals? Why not just one terminal? So everything will have two terminals so that the flow of electricity should pass from one terminal to another terminal, and there has to be a continuous path. To have a path, you need two ends, isn't it? And for the continuous flow of path, these two terminals should never cross each other. They should be apart from each other, right? So, what is written caution? Never join the two terminals of the electric cell without connecting them through a switch. So, why? Why don't we, if you have joined the two terminals without the electric switch, what happened? As soon as you join the two terminals, the electricity starts flowing from one end to the another end. Alright. Now, it will keep flowing if there will be no switch. Alright. And even if you are not using the bulb, the electricity will keep flowing inside the cell. And it may happen that when you need it, the electricity is already been used. And the chemical in the cells are being used up and it's already dead. So, if you do so, the chemical, what will happen? Never join the electric terminals of the electric cell without connecting them through a switch and a device like a bulb. When you do so, the chemicals in the electric cells, this is very important question, it is always asked. If you do so, the chemicals in the electric cell gets used up very fast and the cell stops working. Alright? Now moving ahead, now we'll move to 12.2, a bulb connected to an electric cell. Now, let us try to make an electric bulb light up using an electric cell. How do we do that? Activity number 2. Take 4 lengths of electric wire with differently colored plastic coverings. Remove a little of the plastic covering from each length of at the ends. You can see this. The plastic covering is removed here. Alright. So this end, it doesn't have the plastic covering. It has been removed. This would expose the metal wires at the end of each length. Now metal wires are exposed. Fix the exposed part of the 2 wires to the cells and the other 2 of the bulb as shown in the figure. So you can see how the metal wires are being fixed to both the ends, okay, of the cell. Alright. Now, moving ahead, you can stick the wire to the bulb with a tape used by electrician. Use rubber band or tape to fix the wires to the cell. Now connect the wires fixed to the bulb with those attached to the cells in 6 different ways, as have been shown in the figure. For each arrangement, find out whether the bulb glows or not. So this, you can see how you have to make 2 arrangements. You have to take 4 pieces of the electric wire. 2 wires will go with the cell and 2 wires will go with the bulb. Okay, and then you have to make the arrangements. So different types of arrangements are shown here. Accordingly you have to do. So you can see in A, B, C, D, E and F. All different types of arrangements are here. Children, why these bulbs? You have to first tell me whether for each arrangement whether the bulb glows or not. If not, why? Now let me tell you, bulb and the electric cell should always be, there has to be a continuous flow, means the wires should be connected. All the wires should be connected and 2 terminals should be joined to each other. Alright. So, write yes or no for each arrangements in your notebook. You can tell me here only. Now carefully look at the arrangements in each bulb in which the bulb glows. Compare these with those in which the bulb doesn't glow. Now can you find the reason for the difference? Why the bulb is not glowing? Keep the tip of your pencil on the wire near one terminal of each electric cell for the arrangements. Now move the pencil along the wire all the way to the well, all the way to the bulb. Now from the other terminal of the bulb, move along the other wire connected to the cell. Now repeat the exercise for all the arrangements. Did the bulb glow for all the arrangements? For the arrangements in which you could not move the pencil from one terminal to the another terminal. Now see, there has to be a continuous flow. So when you start from one end, there has to be the flow till the other end. Wherever if you see a break or if there is not a continuous, it's not completing a path or a circle is not been made, it means there is not a complete path of the flow of electricity. Hence the electricity will not flow. So children, one end should go to the other end, another end should go to the one end. So if the positive terminal the one terminal of the bulb should go to the positive, another terminal of the bulb should go to the negative terminal, and there should not be any break in between, or it shouldn't be broken from anywhere, from any side. Okay, if it is so, then bulb will not glow. And if both the ends are connected to both ends of the bulb is connected to both ends of the electric cell, then the electricity will flow and the bulb will glow. Okay, so we will do till here. And children, this diagram also to be drawn by you. So this 12.3, so you are drawing 12.1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so all 5 diagrams should be there in your copy. Okay, we are done now for this period. Okay.